channel. What if I told you that you can have an English conversation at any time, ask questions without feeling embarrassed, practice vocabulary and correct your sentence, and even prepare for a job interview, all from your phone. Sounds like you don't need an English teacher anymore, right? Well, not so fast, because there is another side to this story. ChatGPT can do some amazing things, but can it really replace an English teacher? Which one is better? For learning English, ChatGPT or a real teacher? In this video, we are going to explore and put them to head and look at what each one can actually do. And by the end, you might realize that the answer isn't simply ChatGPT or a teacher. The changing way we learn for years. If you wanted to improve your English, the usual options were a classroom, a private tutor, books, or language nurses. Had an English teacher explaining grammar, giving you exercises, correcting your mistakes, and encouraging you to speak. Today, things are very different. You can open ChatGPT and ask almost anything you can ask for. Vocabulary, grammar mistakes, explanations, writing feedbacks, conversation, practice, interview questions, or even a personalized study materials. Study plan also. The biggest advantage is availability. Your teacher may have a fixed class schedules, but AI is available whenever you need it. Early morning, late or night, or even 5 minutes before interview, you can practice. So round 1, availability. So let's start with the first round. Here ChatGPT clearly has an advantage, like imagine you're traveling to another country and suddenly realize you don't know how to ask for directions politely. So you can open an AI tool and practice immediately, or perhaps you are preparing for an interview at 11 p.m. You can ask for AI to become your interviewer and start practicing. You don't need to wait for your next class. You don't need to make an appointment. You can practice whenever you want, but there is only one thing to remember. Availability doesn't automatically mean quality. Having access to a tool doesn't mean that you know how to use it effectively. And the round 2 is grammar. Now let's talk about grammar. This is where things become interesting. ChatGPT can explain grammar in multiple ways. If you don't understand the difference between a has been and had been and was, you can ask for AI to explain it using simple examples. You can even say, explain this as if I am a beginner, or give me examples from everyday conversation. That's extremely useful. But a good English teacher can do something different. A teacher can look at your repeated mistakes and recognize a pattern. Maybe you always confuse articles. Maybe you understand the rules but make mistakes when speaking. Maybe your problem isn't grammar at all. It is confidence. A teacher can notice these things during interaction and adjust the lesson accordingly. AI can respond to what tell it, but good teacher can often notice what you haven't told it. And the round 3 is speaking practice. Now here one area where AI completely changes the game. Speaking practice. In the past, if you want to practice speaking, you need another person. Today, AI can become your conversation partner. You can say, let's have a 10 minutes conversation about my career. Don't interrupt me. At the end, you can give me feedback. You can practice the same conversation 5 times if you want, and there is something psychologically powerful about this. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes in front of other people. With AI, they may feel less embarrassed. You can make mistakes, stop, start again, and try a sentence different ways. For someone who lacks confidence, that can be incredibly useful. But here is where a human teacher still has an important role. Real communication isn't always predictable. A teacher can react to your emotions, your hesitation, your body language, your confidence. A teacher can suddenly change the topic, challenge you, disagree with you, or ask a follow-up questions that you weren't expecting. That is what real communication is like. AI can stimulate that experience, but the human element is still different. And the round 4 is vocabulary. Now let's talk about vocabulary. If you tell ChatGPT, give me 10 useful words for a job interview, it can create a list in a second. You can ask for meanings, examples, synonyms, antonyms, pronunciation, guidance, and practice exercises. That's a huge advantage. But there is a common mistake learners make. They collect words instead of learning them. They ask for AI for 50 new words, read them, feel productive, and then forget most of them the next day. A good teacher is more likely to say, don't learn 50 words, let's take 5, and usually they work. The importance is different. AI can give you information extremely quickly, but a teacher can help you decide what information is actually worth learning. And the round 5 is writing. Writing is another area where ChatGPT is incredibly powerful. You can write an email, paragraph, essay, CV, or presentation and ask AI to check the grammar, tone, clarity, and structure. You can even ask it to explain your mistakes instead of simply correcting them. But there is a danger here. If you ask AI to write everything for you, your writing may become better while your own writing ability becomes weaker. You might submit a perfect paragraph that you couldn't reproduce yourself. A teacher can challenge you to explain your ideas, rewrite them in your own words, and develop your individual writing style. So again, AI is powerful, but how you use it matters. And so now we are in the part 1 conclusion. So after the first few rounds, who is winning? ChatGPT has some clear strengths. It's available 24/7. It's fast, it can provide endless practice, and it can adapt explanation when you ask it to. But an experienced English teacher brings something different. Human observation, personal understanding, motivation, accountability, and real interaction. So maybe the question isn't who is better. Maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe we are asking the wrong question. What if the smartest approach is to stop thinking of ChatGPT and teachers as competitors? And that's exactly what we are going to explore in part 2, because there are something ChatGPT can do better than a teacher, and there is some things good teacher can do that AI still struggles with. And more importantly, I am going to show you how you can combine both to create a much more powerful way of learning English. Thank you for watching.